Kami juga memiliki pustakaan yang representatif. Ya, silakan lihat, nanti bisa dilihat ya di lantai 3 gedung manajemen itu ada pustakaan kami. Ya, kami sudah koneksi dengan e-library yang oleh Perpusnas. Kemudian kami juga memiliki SLIM ya, jadi Senayan Library ya, information model ya, manajemen ya, itu juga kami siapkan ya. Jadi sekarang itu Akas Ekonomi mengelola 3 gedung. Gedung A yang saya disebut dengan gedung manajemen, yang tadinya 3 lantai menjadi 4 lantai. Kemudian gedung B yang disebut juga gedung akuntansi, itu pun kita perbaiki.
Inilah saya penjelasan saya selaku dosen Fakultas Ekonomi Universitas Pakuan. Fungsi daripada digital library adalah untuk memfasilitasi khususnya kuliah online. Nah, kita sebagai dosen merupakan sebagai tanggung jawab memberikan materi.
Kami juga punya ruang untuk digital lecturing ya, di mana dosen-dosen misalkan ingin memberi pelajaran secara daring, secara digital lecturing, kami siapkan juga.
Ruang kuliah yang luas, nyaman, bisa menampung sampai 50 mahasiswa. Dan tentu saja dilengkapi dengan AC dan LCD proyektor.
Selain kelas ya, di lantai 4 di gedung B akuntansi, kami siapkan ruang-ruang seperti ruang konseling, ruang jurnal, ruang untuk ikatan alumni. Kemudian ruang untuk laser mahasiswa, karena kami kerjasama dengan PT Pegadaian, ya, itu kami punya Degade, ya, di mana mahasiswa bisa kumpul di situ dengan jaringan internet yang cukup kuat, ya, jadi merupakan tempat yang katakan menjadi favorit lah bagi mahasiswa. Kemudian kami punya tempat pusat inkubator bisnis lantai 4, ya, di mana dilengkapi dengan seperti kafe kecil ya untuk latihan mahasiswa. Ya.
Ruangan ini adalah laboratorium untuk mata kuliah pengantar aplikasi komputer.
Ya. Kemudian lab kami punya lab, ya, lab untuk komputer, untuk aplikasi komputer, untuk aplikasi yang sifat baik manajemen maupun akuntansi, itu pun kami buat dengan model kekinian. Ya, karena kami tahu bahwa mahasiswa kami itu dari, ya, pasti adalah generasi Z. Ya. Jadi Z dan bahkan generasi Alpha mungkin nantinya. Jadi mereka pasti sangat care terhadap kondisi sarana prasarana yang milenial gitu.
Ini adalah sekolah laboratorium akuntansi.
Kemudian kami juga didukung ya dengan ruang dosen tentunya ya. Ruang dosen kami juga kami buat bukan sekedar hanya meja kursi tapi juga yang cukup representatif dan menarik bagi dosen.
Sini pun terdapat whiteboard dan proyektor, screen proyektor. Tujuannya apa? Ketika dosen ingin diskusi, meeting, fakultas pendidikan di setiap lantai.
Di lantai 2 ini kami kebetulan di lantai 2 di gedung C atau gedung Profesor Dr. Edi Mulyadi Supardi. Itu adalah ruang dekanat. Ya, ruang dekanat di lantai 2, di sampingnya adalah ruang UPMF ya. Ruang UPMF itu adalah ruang unit penjaminan mutu fakultas. Sekretaris dekan juga di sebelah sana. Dan di sana ya, itu ada ruang rapat di sebelah sana. Di sebelah sini ada ruang rapat kami ya, dilengkapi dengan LCD interaktif ya. Kemudian juga ada ruang wakil dekan ya, kemudian ruang sidang. Ruang sidang kami siapkan untuk paralel ada 4 ya, karena kami sistemnya sidang untuk kompre, untuk sidang skripsi itu adalah sistem panel. Jadi kami siapkan 4 ruangan khusus.
Iya. Saya ini kan sebulan 2 kali jadinya. Pertemuan kan
Kemudian kami punya ruang seminar yang model teater, yaitu bisa sampai 70. Ya, itu pun sangat fungsional bisa digunakan oleh berbagai kegiatan. Dan pada akhirnya kami memiliki auditorium. Kami punya 2 auditorium, 1 utama dan 2 adalah media. Auditorium utama kami itu mampu menampung lebih dari 800 pengunjung, dilengkapi dengan ruang diskusi, dilengkapi dengan ruang tunggu, dilengkapi dengan audio system yang sangat canggih ya. Itu ada di lantai 4 gedung manajemen. Di samping itu kami juga punya auditorium media. Itu sampai kapasitasnya sampai 300. Tidak kalah canggihnya dengan yang utama karena dilengkapi dengan audio system yang canggih ya. Dilengkapi juga dengan ruang tunggu VIP. Nah, inilah sarana prasarana yang bisa diberikan oleh Fakultas Ekonomi. Semuanya untuk meningkatkan pelayanan kepada mahasiswa. Semuanya untuk memberikan nilai tambah kepada bukan hanya Fakultas Ekonomi, Unpad, Universitas Pakuan, tapi tentunya adalah kepada masyarakat secara umum. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The Faculty of Business, Economics and Social Development offers a few undergraduate bachelor degree programs, one being the Bachelor of Management Marketing with Honors. The Bachelor of Management Marketing with Honors program is accredited by MQA, Malaysia Quality Assurance. This program is for students who want to reinforce their knowledge and expertise in marketing. It is designed to meet social responsibility by providing a trained workforce tailored to market demands. Learning and teaching sessions are conducted by friendly academicians as well as industry thinkers. Our program objectives are to deliver and provide understanding and marketing concepts and principles, to apply management and marketing competency in planning, identifying, analyzing, and evaluating problems, to produce ethical, professional, and confident graduates. We offer state-of-the-art facilities in our classrooms that are required to equip them for the Industrial Revolution 4.0.
We also offer massive open online courses, MOOCs, as well as online on-site hybrid courses for the students to experience different types of pedagogy and assessments.
Our campus offers students a conducive and resort-like place to study. Our campus is strategically located on the coast of the South China Sea, and it is only a short drive away from Kuala Terengganu waterfront heritage city. Undergraduate students have the opportunity to experience a variety of sports every month, organized by the Students' Marketing Club,
Marcy,
and other clubs in the university. Undergraduate students are able to access tools, practices, and environments that are not available at the university on field trips. The exposure to community outreach programs is one of our strengths. Undergraduate students provide meaningful service-based activities to local communities that might not otherwise have access to the services. So hurry! Reserve your place for upcoming intakes by applying today.
Universitas Pakuan was established on November 1st, 1980 as a continuation of Universitas Bogor or UNBO that have been run for almost 2 decades in 1980. On November 1st, 1988, Universitas Bogor or UNBO officially changed its name to be Universitas Pakuan under Pakuan Siliwangi Foundation or Yayasan Pakuan Siliwangi.
Vision: to be an excellent, independent, and characterized university. Mission: organizing a higher education in preparing human resources who are able to explore, develop, and apply sciences, technologies, and arts. Applying knowledge which is based on a wise attitude. Producing graduates who are qualified, independent, faithful, having noble character, and be patriotic.
Currently, Universitas Pakuan has 3 education
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ya, saya
Selamat siang. Good
ya
afternoon.
good afternoon. I have difficulties in my Zoom right now. So because I'm trying a few times already, but then the Zoom application suddenly, is gone. So I'm in the process of I'm trying to switch the laptop right now.
Okay.
I hope it's okay. But this is I don't know. We tried first using this computer. Is it okay? But I stand by another laptops beside me because I've been trying a few times. I hope it will stop. Yeah. So can you what you call that? Can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, we could hear your voice clearly.
Alright.
Is there anything we can help you?
Yeah.
Presenting
Okay.
the slide, maybe?
Yeah. I get back to you a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Bambang Hengki.
Hello, Mr. Paroni.
Okay, nice to meet you. Should we start now?
Yes.
Or okay, let's start the second guest lecture. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon.
Waalaikumsalam.
Welcome, Mr. Ari. And we want to welcome all the participants in the second guest lecture with the topic of service marketing. This event is collaboration between Faculty of Economic and Business University Pakuan and Faculty of Business Economic and Social Development University Malaysia Terengganu and support by Institut Bisnis Informatika Kesatuan or IBIK and Setiami Institute. On this occasion, allow us to guide on this event and as well be a moderator in the presentation and discussion session. In the first session, with the theme of marketing perspective in service marketing will be moderated by Mr. Bambang. Mr. Bambang Heki is the head of tourism study program on Institut Bisnis Kesatuan. Please, Mr. Bambang.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Doni. And then the second session will be the theme of disruption in service business will be moderated by Mr. Doni. I would like to inform you that Mr. Doni, Wihardika, Sarjana Perikanan Magister Manajemen. He is assistant of management program on Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Pakuan, Bogor, Indonesia. First of all, let us pray and praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because of His bless and mercy. We can continue together without any obstacles here with healthy condition in the seminar of welcoming ceremony for new students of English language department.
Okay. Second, let us greet and pray for our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who had brought us to the path of light and left the darkness in this life. We also want to greet the Honorable Associate Professor Mrs. Hayatul Safra binti Saleh as the first speaker. Hello, Mrs. Hayatul.
Yes, hello.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. She is a lecturer of Faculty of Business, Economic and Social Development, University of Malaysia Terengganu, if I'm not correctly.
Yes.
I would like to welcome the Honorable Mr. Ari Bowo Irawan, Sarjana Perikanan Magister Management. Hello, Mr.
Good afternoon,
Ari.
Pak Doni.
Good afternoon. As the second speaker, he is a lecturer from Faculty of Economic and Business of University Pakuan. And I want to greet our beloved friend, lecturer, college, and students who came from various universities, from University Malaysia Terengganu, Malaysia, University Pakuan Bogor, Indonesia, Institut Bisnis and Informatika Komunikasi, Institut Bisnis and Informatika Kesatuan, or IBIK from Indonesia, and Stiami Institute from Indonesia. Hopefully we can enjoy this event and can give a lot of benefit for us.
Amen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we come to the main session, let us start this by praying first. So the event that will hold on this day will running well without any obstacles. Pray begins. Silakan berdoa menurut agama dan kepercayaan masing-masing. Berdoa dipersilakan. Bismillah. Finish sudah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on this nice occasion, let me deliver the structure of the event today as follows. First, opening, and then the second is photograph session, and then third is first general lecture that will be delivered by Associate Professor Dr. Hayatul Zafrah binti Saleh. Sorry if I made the mistake. And then the second general lecture, which will be delivered by Mr. Ari Wibowo Irawan, Sarjana Perikanan, Register Manager. And then the fifth agenda is the question and answer session. And then the last six is closing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's open this event by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay. Before proceeding to the main event, we will document this activity. Therefore, we ask all the participants to activate the camera, please. Okay. There is a few slide in here, slide photograph. So I ask the crew to help me take the picture, please. Okay. Okay, there is 5 slides. So please, okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the first slide. Then the second slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The third slide. 1, 2, 3. The fourth slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The last slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. I hope that the picture decision of the photograph is have been taken. So we move on to the move on to the next event. Okay, we invite Associate Professor Miss Dr. Hayatul Zafrah binti Saleh. Hello, Dr. Hayatul.
Yeah.
Okay, you will be guided with Mr. Bambang as the moderator. So Mr. Bambang will join you. Hello, Mr. Bambang.
Hello.
Okay. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bambang. Okay, Assalamualaikum, Dr. Hayatul.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, before your presentation, I would like to I would like to explain about your CV to the audience. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I would like to inform that Associate Professor Dr. Hayatul Safrah binti Saleh is Associate Professor of the Marketing at the Faculty of Business, Economic, and Social Development, and Associate Research Fellows at Institute of Oceanography and Environment, or INOS, University Malaysia Terengganu, Malaysia. She received her Doctor of Business Administration from University Utara Malaysia and Master in Business Administration, or MBA degree from the University of Wales, Cardiff, United Kingdom, and Bachelor of Management at University of Science, Malaysia. She has more than 15 years of experience in research and teaching marketing and management course. She has taught a range of marketing and management subjects, including marketing management, service marketing, customer behavior, retailing, sales management, business management, and also organizational behavior. Her field of research is business and management, specializing in marketing. Her current research interests include customer behavior, service marketing, sustainability marketing, and local knowledge. She has successfully established her own research team and actively collaborating with other researchers on various research projects based on research grant that she has obtained a principal investigator as well as researcher. Currently, she has published more than 30 articles in her journal, academic books, and so many. She is also actively supervising more than 20 postgraduate students. She has presented papers based on her research work at both local and international conferences. Moreover, she has been invited as a guest speaker for the faculty, University Malaysia Terengganu, and government bodies, and serves as a research reviewer for academic manuscript for several conferences, journals, and books, as well as examiner for postgraduate. Despite a busy schedule of research and teaching, she is actively involved in various administrative committees. This is very luar biasa. Amazing, Doctor. Amazing, Doctor. So, Doctor, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bambang, and also Mr. Doni, Ari, yeah. Farah, ya, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum to all, and also to the participants. I guess most of them are students, yeah, in Pakuan University, and also students from University Malaysia Terengganu. Okay. Thank you very much to all, and without further ado, because I will be given only 45 minutes, yeah, for me to give a lecture as a guest lecture for series 2. Before that, maybe I can share the screen, right? Okay, let me do it. Okay. Can you see the slides?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. All right. So okay. Thank you very much again. Sorry. Right. So maybe I can start now because now is in Malaysia is 2:30 already. All right. I've been given the topic of services marketing related that given by Dr. Farah to me. So I hope that I can share a little bit that I've been, the knowledge that I have to the students in University of Pakuan, also in UNT. And then actually I've been teaching the subject service marketing quite a few years, yeah. And and then because the service marketing is a very huge and vast topics, right? So have been discussed with Dr. Farah. I don't know which one. So when I after discussing with Dr. Farah, and then maybe I just for this first lecture, or maybe I just focusing on marketing perspective in the service sector. Yeah, maybe I will discuss about what is service marketing is all about. What is services compared to a product and or goods? Yeah. So right. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yeah. Okay. For this lecture, the contents that I'm going to discuss or going to, give some knowledge to the students is number one is important of the service sector in the global economy. Yeah, why we learn services, why service is very important compared to other services, and then services marketing mix. Later, we will discuss about basic differences between goods and services, and also the main characteristic of service compared to goods, as well as marketing problems and also the possible solution. And some of the examples, not everything, some of the example. And finally, I will discuss about the factors that influence the service experience, because we know that service is not the good. So actually, when we buy service, actually we feel the experience from that. Right. Okay. So first of all, First of all, these are the factors actually that stimulate and stimulating the service economy, why the service is important and so forth. So actually, the service have in all parts of the countries in the world, service actually has given GDP almost 50% of all of the countries in the world, in which the service sector have bring a lot of money to the not only the organization but also to the countries, including Malaysia. So we can see that the service economy, the service sector are blooming every single year, especially now when the COVID-19 pandemic is been over all the world, almost 2 years already. So because of that, we can see that service sector keep on growing to cater the needs and the wants of the consumers. That because nowadays we cannot move around freely like before, right? We most of the time we have to stay at home, and follow strict SOP from the government and so forth. So because of that, the services sectors this situation has given advantage to the service sectors. We can see and we can feel it. Okay, so these are the some of the these are some of the factors that affect the blooming of the service economies around the world. One of it is the government policies, because some of the government, most of the government, they keep on changing in regulation, and also, for example, they are more on privatization, rules to protect the customers, and also the agreement trade, they keep on, the policies is changing, and then because of that, the service sector have gained a lot of benefit from that. I will give you some example in the next slide. So this actually there are a lot of factors, which influence the service economy, but then this is the most relevant or the most important factors. One is about government policy. Second is social changes. Maybe the raising consumers' expectation, more people start buying online and so forth. And then because of the business trend also, in which more and more strategic alliances, outsourcing. And as we know nowadays, a gig economy blooming, and the growth of franchising. So all these things affect the service sector. And apart from that is the advance in information technology. We can see clearly nowadays growth of internet. The online platform workers are blooming, because of the the situation right now, and also because of the growth of internet. There's more and more people that selling products online. So this is actually has give a lot of impact to the service sector. And finally, is the globalization, in which the globalization, for example, increase international traveling, easier for us nowadays to go here and there because of the globalization, and offshoring, relocation of the customer service, and so forth. So these 5 factors actually affect the service sector, and because of these factors, so it increase the demand for services in all over the world, including Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and so forth. And then so there are a lot of new market keep on coming in the market. So because of that, the service provider have to innovate, have to make an innovation towards their product and also their services, especially in delivering system, for example, to cater the needs and the wants of the consumers. And then through that, the customer like us, have more choices in product and also services that offered by the service provider. So therefore, the service marketing and management, they have to understand, they understand the customer needs and wants, and also they have to understand the competitors as well. Because by understanding the competitors and understanding what customer wants, they can create a good product. Maybe already product is there, they can innovate and put some innovation to the product. Then also they have to use a viable business model. Nowadays we can see that there's a lot of business models blooming in this area of service marketing. And finally, the creation of value for both customer and the firm. This is very important in service because service is not product. So the service provider have to create a good value in terms of service experience towards their their service to the customer and also to their firms, so that when they provide a good service, by giving a good value of service to the customer, so it will, will give a good image to the firms. So these are the things that important. Why the service economy or service sector are blooming nowadays and keep on coming. Yeah. Okay, these are the examples. Yeah, of the what we call it. Factors that can transform and impact the service economy. For example, changes in regulations. Let's say in Malaysia, the ban on smoking in restaurant. Yeah. So and the limitation of transfer in food preparation, for example. So the impact of the service economy is they have to improve customer comfort and health. So that is how, when there is a regulation that in the restaurant cannot the customer cannot smoke in the restaurant. So the service provider have to do something about their shop or their services. And then in order for the customer to come, always come to dine or to have lunch in their in their shop or restaurant. And then for the social changes, the raising consumer expectation. And nowadays, consumers are very knowledgeable because of the internet. They can get a lot of information just by clicking on the headphones, right? So now, for example, higher expectation of the service quality and convenience for them to buy or to use the service. So what should the service economy should do? So they have to train their staff to deliver the best service ever to the customer, or maybe to give convenience to the customer, they can extend their operating hours, or maybe they can hire part-time jobs to other people and so forth. So these are the things that the service provider can do to cater the social changes. And business strength more strategy alliances. Yeah. So for example, we can see that now one of the example is One World Alliance, in which some of the airline, for example, in One World there are Malaysian Airlines, Qatar Airways, British Airways, American Airlines. They alliance together to what we call this. By alliance together in One World, they can save a lot of costs, because they can share the routes. For example, they only use a Qatar Airways, the flight by Qatar Airways from Kuala Lumpur to Paris, for example. But the customer inside that flight, in Qatar Airways flight, is not. It can divide it into a few passengers that buy or that bought Malaysian airline tickets or maybe Singapore airline tickets, but they use only one flight, which is Qatar Airways. So they can save a lot of money. So that is the trend nowadays in business. Okay, and then in terms of growth of internet, this one is the information is on our fingertips. So can a consumer have knowledgeable and so forth. So by the service economy or service sector have to do always in advance. What I mean is have to create a new service, have to always always advance from their customer, because if the services provider are behind the customer, they cannot cope with or they cannot survive in the service economy. So because of the growth of internet, they also have to use, for example, in selling the product, not only using the brick or mortar or the shop, but they can use online shopping by using Instagram, Facebook, and so forth. So that is how a service provider has to do. They have to not static there, but they have to think of what are the strategy that they can cater because of this growth of internet used by the by the organization and also by the customer. Yeah. And in terms of globalization, for example, increased international travel, so more services offered to more places. Yeah, so in which if this will give advantage to the airline provider, ferries, cruise ship, coach tour, and so forth, because of it. But at the moment, as we know that because of COVID-19 pandemic, so we cannot go anywhere. So maybe it's only happened in, only around the same continent or the same countries only. So these are some of the examples that give impact to the service economy. Yeah. All right, now we look at the marketing mix for services. Yeah, for 7. So for services, there are 7 P's. Yeah, as I know, especially for marketing students or management students, they, I think they already know that 4 P's. Yeah, that is a basic 4 P's, which is product, price, place, and promotion. But for services, there are another 3 to be adding up to the 4 P's, which is people, process, and also physical evidence. Yeah. Okay. What are they? Okay, I think product everybody knows lah. So no need for me to explain further. Yeah. Product can be can be divided into 2, goods and also service. So now we are focusing on service. So I will discuss about that later in the next slide. And then price, how we pricing the product. Pricing the product more more easier than pricing the services, yeah, because of the service characteristic that they are intangible. They're intangible, right? And that places where to, for example, where to market your product, whether you use in mall, shopping mall, or shops, or maybe you use online online shop, for example, you use your own website maybe, or you use Shopee, Lazada, whatsoever. Yeah. And then also the promotion, what types of promotion that's suitable for your product or for your service. Then, so these are the main 4 P's. Yeah. But for adding up to the service marketing mix, there are people. People is very important because why? In service, if there is no, there are 2 things that must be there. One is people, is the actor, is the one who give us the service, meaning that the personnel or the employees of the service provider. And the other human actor is us, the consumer. Yeah, because when we want the service, we have to be there and together. We cannot say that because that is service, not the product. We can buy product and then keep it to use it for next year, next week, for example. But service cannot. For example, if you want to cut your hair, you have to go to the salon, and then there you are. And then another one is the service provider, which is the hairdresser or the barber. So people is very important in service. Another one is the physical evidence. The physical evidence or the servicescape, we call it also servicescape, is the environment in which the service is delivered. So that servicescape is where the customer and also the service provider interact with each other, and also with other customer that already also there. So the physical evidence is a tangible component of the service. For example, the chair. If you go to the barber shop, for example, there is a chair. There is the uniform wear by the service provider, and also there is the scissors and the mirror, and all those things is the physical evidence, and also the air condition. That is part of the physical evidence that what we call it, or what I can say, that membantu that service provider to show that the quality of their service that they are going to give to the customer. The physical evidence is there and is important in marketing mix for services. And finally is the process. Yeah. So in service, there must be a process or SOP. Yeah. The procedure, yeah, the mechanism, the flow of the activity must be there. If not, orang kata apa, we will kacau bilau lah. Yeah. So the process must, meaning that the customer must follow the process. They must follow the activity. For example, if you go to to the hotel, first thing you have to park your car in the parking area. You cannot park anywhere, right? You have to park in the parking area, and then you walk to the hotel, and then the bellboy will carry your bag, and then the third step, you go to the receptionist area, and then you check in. After you check in, you go to your room, and then the bellboy will, will carry your bag towards your room. So that is the steps that you have to follow. So that is the process. So in service, these three things is important. That's why for service marketing mix, apart from that 4 P's, another 3 is people, physical evidence, and process. Yeah. Okay, so 7 altogether. Right. What is services? Right. What is service? All right. So, like I said earlier, product can be divided into 2. One is goods, one is services. So, what is goods? Goods is something that physical, something that you can feel, you can smell, yeah, you can hold it. Goods have shape and form. They have weight, sometimes 100 kilogram, yeah. 100 kilogram is too much. Maybe 50 grams, yeah. And then they have colors, yeah. And also you can keep that goods, and you can store it to use it in another times. Yeah. For example, like in my slide, a dress, yeah, shoes, cars, and hot dog. All these things, this is goods, goods because they have taste, they have colors, weight, smell, and so forth. So something physical that we can, touch it, and keep it. But for services, it's not physical. It's intangible, something that we cannot see, we cannot feel. But and then the services also inseparability, in which if you, for example, if you you got flu, you sakit, and you got flu, and you go to the hospital, you have to go to the hospital to see the doctor. You cannot send your mother to the hospital, right? So inseparability, you have to be there so doctor can check you. And another one is variability. It's not standard, but the product, but the goods is standard. For example, a pen, a shoes, a car, a Honda City cars. So everything is standard except for maybe colors is different, or maybe because of the other some of the things lah. Maybe there are some, but most of it is standard, But for services, it's not standard, variable, If you today, let's say last 4 months you cut your hair with Salina the barber, but then you come back tomorrow, today you cut your hair again with the same people, but maybe the style of the cutting is different because it depends on the mood of the barber at that time, and also because of the environment. So it's variability, and also the perishability. It cannot be stored. So we will discuss about this later in the next slides. So now I hope you understand the difference between goods and services. Okay, these are some of the examples. Examples of services. Right. Oh, sorry. So, for example, we have hospital, medical, dentistry, eye care, and then professional service, for example, is accounting, legal firm, and financial services, banking, investment, insurance. All these things is a service industry. And as for hospitality, For example, a restaurant, hotel, motel, homestay, ski resort. We put it in under hospitality service industry. And then for travel industry, it's also services, in which, for example, airline and travel agencies, theme park. And other than that, there's a lot more. For example, hair styling, plumbing, counseling services, health club, childcare service, and so forth. There are a lot more of service industries all over the world. So this is only part of the example. So in service, normally how the customer like us want to call it to label the service quality. How? From the values that provided by the service provider through service experience. Through service experience, because consumer receive service experience. As well as product, it depends, because we will go to the continuum of the product later on, so I can explain furthermore. But most of it is in service, consumer receives service experience, then we value that service, so we can categorize the service quality based on the experience that we have. Okay, these are the how I call it, the spectrum of product, a tangibility spectrum of the product. Okay. In this slide, if you can see that from on your left, tangible dominant. We call it tangible dominant because it's very, very physical properties, in which you can feel it, you can taste it, you can see, you can store. So the example is salt. Salt or sugar, because salt or sugar atau garam ataupun gula, they have, you can taste it. For example, sugar, very sweet, right? Sugar is very sweet. If the thing is not sweet, that is no sugar. That is not sugar, right? So this is very, very tangible. And then you can felt it. It's rough a little bit. It's not smooth, right? You can taste it. Kalau salt, it's it tastes salty lah. Then you can store salt or sugar, right? You can keep it in the balang or something, and then you can put it, and then you can use it sometimes for a year. So you can store it. That is tangible dominant. The example is salt or sugar. And then when you see in this slide, from tangible dominant towards to the right, which is intangible dominant. So the most intangible dominant that given in this slide is teaching. This is what I'm doing now. I teach you. I give my knowledge. Knowledge. It's not physical, right? You cannot feel knowledge. You cannot taste knowledge, right? So that's why teaching is the most intangible dominant in this tangibility spectrum of product. And because I teach you, I give my knowledge, 100% knowledge that I have, and I hope that you can get that knowledge and use it for your own, benefit. So from the if you look at this slide, from the salt and then soft drink, detergent, automobile, cosmetic, fast food outlet. Okay, if you see that, salt, for example, salt tadi, you can feel it. Kalau salt memang masin, kalau sugar memang dia sweet. But when you compare to soft drink, there's a lot of taste in soft drink, right? If you compare Coca-Cola and Pepsi Cola, there is a slight difference in taste. You see, so there is the continuum of spectrum of tangibility is more, we call it berkurang. Lesser and lesser from the left hand side to the right hand side. And then in the middle, if you can see the fast food outlets. Okay, fast food outlets, for example, KFC, McDonald's. Yeah, so you can see that it's a 50-50, right? They have intangible and also tangible product. Yeah, if tangible product is their food, the McDonald's burger, for example, their French fries, their drinks, that is the tangible product that they sell to us. But for the intangible, for McDonald's, is their service that given to us. Yeah, they maybe this for example, they they do a delivery service. Yeah, they they send the product to your tables, for example. Yeah, or they provide cleaning of the their toilets every 2 hours, for example. So that are the service. So that's why fast food is the example of 50-50, 50 intangible and 50 tangible. So I hope you can understand this. These are the continuum spectrum of product. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, is e-services. Yeah, so e-services is an electronic service that available via internet. Yeah, in which actually we nowadays everybody are using these e-services. They can solve problem. Then they can e-service actually give us what we call that convenience to us, because we no need for us to go to the bank. If we want to, we call that to transfer money from, let's say, I want to transfer money to my daughter in Kuala Lumpur. I just use CIMB Click to transfer the money, or to pay rental, whatever lah. So we use e-services. E-services is very, very convenient and safe. For me, it's safe to the customer. Yeah, and e-service also is also known as a self-service technologies. Because why? Because we do it ourselves without the help of the service provider. If we compare that, if we go to the bank, so there is bankers or the employees of the bank giving us the service. But when we use e-services, we do it ourselves. Only if we have problems, then we can call or we can chat, or we can ask questions with the client service support provided by the service provider via online. Yeah. Okay. For example, for e-service is auto rental chain, bank, insurance companies. We can buy insurance nowadays through e-service. And hotel in terms of booking. No need for us to call them. We just can book a hotel via online. Maybe we go to their website, or also maybe we can use Agoda. And other types of e-services that provide hotel reservation. And also we can buy movie tickets via online, and so forth. So this e-service have helped a lot to the consumer, and also actually to the service provider, because they save a lot of, in terms of maybe they have no need to hire a lot of employees. By using e-services, maybe less and less employees for them to hire. Okay. Right. Now, like I said earlier, we already discussed a little bit about characteristics of the services. So these are the 4 main characteristics of service that differentiate from the services from the goods. Or the goods, I mean, like shoes, cars, and laptops, and so forth. So services, the first characteristic is intangibility, in which it cannot be seen, taste, felt or smell or whatsoever. Yeah, I already discussed about this earlier. Yeah, and inseparability also, service cannot be separated from their provider. We have to be there, right? We have to be there. Yeah, but just like when you want to cut your hair and so forth. And then variability, in which quality of the services depends on who provide the service to us. And where are they at that time? What are the situation? How how are the machine at that time or the equipment? All of those give contribute a little bit and give influence the way the service provider perform their service towards us. Yeah. Okay, and then the final characteristic of services compared to product, goods is a perishability, in which services cannot be stored for later use or for later sales, because it's not like goods. Yeah, you produce it, standardized, like a pen, and then you can keep it. But for service, it's not like that. Yeah, it's perishability. Yeah, right. So because of these four characteristics, so some of there are some problems and also the solution that we can do in order to rectify some of the tangibility problems. Yeah, for example, because of the tangibility characteristic of the services, some of the problem is maybe service because service cannot be inventory, lack of pattern. So everybody can copy your service. Yeah, and then also sometimes it's difficult for the service provider to explain it, to display their services, to tell the consumer what are their service, the difference between their service with other competitors is quite difficult, because service is not a goods. Yeah, it's not physical, right? And also another problems is difficulty in pricing, to put a price towards our service. It's also it's quite difficult compared to goods. So what are the solutions? Some of the solutions that given in most of the blogs and also books, textbook and so forth, is to use a tangible clue of physical evidence in order to tell the customer that this is our this is our service, and our service is better than the other services that provide by the competitors. Yeah, by using the physical evidence. For example, the quality of the furniture, the quality of the the uniform wear by the employees. It can show the level of, for example, if you go to the hotels, that's why hotel have a 2-star hotel, 3-star hotel, and 4-star and 5-star hotel, even 6-star hotel, right? So how they differentiate between these stars, is maybe because of the physical evidence. Some of it is because of the physical evidence. For 3-star hotel, for you for the the hotel to get 3-star hotel, one of the criteria is you must have, and the hotel must have a swimming pool, right? Only then they can give the 3-star hotel value, for example. So meaning that that is some of the tangible clues that you can, that you can put in your service, to tell the customer we are 4-star hotel or 5-star hotel. Maybe because it's very all these things will give what you call it experience, service experience to the customer. Yeah, right. So when you when you sleep in the 2-star hotel, and at one time you sleep in the 5-star hotel, you can feel the difference. Yeah, in terms of in terms of bedding there, in terms of smell, yeah? In terms of food provided, everything is different. So meaning that one of the things that the solution that the service provider can do is by using the tangible clue or physical evidence to differentiate between their services with others. Yeah, and also utilize personal source of information. Maybe use a celebrity, social media influencer to talk about our services. Yeah, and then also create a strong organizational image. That is very important. Yeah? How to do it? There's a lot of strategies can do it. One of it is by using customer, correct? By creating by creating something, you give charity, you give something to the charity, yeah, or by creating that's one of the strategy that can bring up your organizational image. Yeah, customer relationship management. You have a good customer relationship CRM. And so forth. So there's some of the strategy that you can use. Yeah. Okay. Now we look at the inseparability. Yeah. Okay. Marketing problems. Okay. A service provider. Okay. Inseparability. Service provider and customer is there and involved in those process, and also other customer also involved. Other customer meaning that by doing, for example, the barber. You go to the barber shop, and then the barber cut your hair. At the same time, there are other customer there, waiting their turn to be cut their hair as well. So all these three, people is there. And that is sometimes it's create marketing problems. Yeah. So in as a service provider involvement, the possible solution that can do by the service provider is you have to select and train your employees and train them how to how to behave as a employee, how to treat your customer. You have to train them, and also you have to train them how to cut the hair and so forth. Yeah? And as for the customer, you have to have an effective strategies to manage the customer, right? Because customers, some of them is not, customer is different. Because human being is different, the attitude are different. Some of the customer are very polite and very good, but some of the customer are very mean. Yeah, always want to nak cepat lah, suka marah and so forth. So you have to have the effective strategies how to manage this customer, and also you have to strategies how to to rectify the if your customer, your employee doing doing something not right. So service provider have to make sure that you have a strategy to overcome those problems. Yeah. And then the other for the customer in the production process is what you can do is you use a multi-site location. What does it mean by multi-site location? Multi-site location is maybe you can use for example, you can for people that you can locate another barber shop in another area for those people in those areas, so that you can divide it into 2 or 3 locations. Yeah. Another example is maybe if you have opened the restaurant. Yeah. Some of the good restaurant, exclusive restaurant, they divide it into 2 sections. One section is for the normal customer, and another section is for family for the customer that have family. So you know why? Because sometimes when people has a family, they have kids, a small kids, sometimes small kids, you know, like to a lot of problems, right? They have to sometimes they cry, they making noise and so forth. So this is one of the another strategies that the restaurant can do, divided into two section for family and also for another social, customer as usual. All right. Now we go to the variability and the marketing problems and solution. Okay, in this part of variability, the marketing problems is maybe because of it's difficult to standardize the service, and quality control are very difficult to do it. Yeah, because this is not goods, but service is very difficult, right? To standardize, because different people are giving us different service. Depends on who give the service to us, right? So possible solution what the service provider can do is by customization to fit individual needs and wants, and also standardize in terms of fast, less expensive, or more consistent. So these are some of the the solution. And then last but not least is the final one, because of the demand excess and supply excess, and also because of the lower demand. So the possible solution is maybe we can create creative pricing, maybe during high demand, high price, but low demand, low price. And also we can, in terms of supply, if there's a lot of supply, maybe we can employ a part-time employees. And in terms of reservation system, possible if a lot of demand, so maybe we can use reservation system. Who come first, and that person will get the first, provide the first. Okay, and then. Also, when the supply is, a lot, demand exceed optimal level of supply, maybe you can, share the capacity with other provider. And maybe you have a hotel and another hotel also doesn't have a lot of people. So maybe you can, ask some of your activities towards another providers. And for lower demand, maybe you can shift the complementary services. And a possible solution in supply is maybe you can, utilize the third party. So increase customer participation, for example. Increase customer participation, for example, by doing, in a restaurant, you don't service everything. For example, you provide, what you call that, salad bar or coffee bar, that in which the customer have to do it themselves. So this is how the service provider can provide, some of the possible solution to rectify some of the problem in service. Okay, so like I said earlier, customer service experience. So when we buy service, actually we buy the service experience, because when we use a line, for example, when we when we use when we buy tickets in business class compared to economy class, it's different, or vast different, because when we pay higher, so the experience that we receive from traveling economy and versus traveling business is vast different. So services is about service experience. So customer experience of the services depends or influenced by 4 factors. One is service scape. The other is service providers itself, or the service contact personnel. Number 3 is invisible organizations and system. And finally is other customer that also receive or waiting to get the service like us. Okay. So in number 1 is the servicescape. Servicescape and the use of physical evidence to design the service environment. This is important because physical evidence, this is some of the physical evidence elements that service provider can use. Maybe the parking situation, the color of the building, the cutlery that you use, the furniture that you use, air quality, the air condition, lighting, the noise, the music, employees' dress code, business card, and so forth. So all this is actually is a physical evidence, and this physical evidence affect and give a lot of impact to the service experience that the consumer will feel after they receive the service. So this is very important. Okay, number 2 is the service providers itself, or the personnel that give us the service. So the service provider is the primary provider of the core service. For example, dentists, doctors, lecturers like us, waiters or waiter. That is the primary provider, because we as a consumer, we have a direct exposure with them, because if we sick, we go direct to see the doctors. And another contact personnel is employees who briefly interact with the customer. For example, for doctors, when we want to go and see doctors or dentists, normally we will call the secretary first, or the nurses, to make appointment, to ask question, and so forth. And also some of it is technician, the telephonist. So these contact personnel also actually give us the level of service experience, because if the telephonist doesn't know how to answer our question as a consumer, sometimes we are not happy. Although when we go to see the doctors is very good, but because of maybe the secretary is not that, don't help us a lot, so it will affect the experience that we receiving from those clinics or those hospitals. Okay. Number 3 is organizations and system. So for example, McDonald's and also chef so there is a invisible system that they have. The invisible system, because we cannot see that system, how the chef is cook our product, our food, how they serve. We cannot see that, right? And also the McDonald's. We go to when we want to buy the McDonald's, the burger, for example, we just go to the counter and then we ask everything what we want, but then we don't know how they prepare those products. So that are the system. They have the system. For example, if the burger have a certain temperature, so they cannot sell it to us, to the customer, so they will throw that product away, and the burgers we don't, because they have the system, so that this system will justify the quality of the product and service that given to the customer. Okay, finally is other customer that also there when we also present when we are asking for the services. The presence of other customer can enhance or detract from an individual service experience, right? For example, in the restaurant, if you have an unruly customer, this is very sickening, right? They're not polite. They have a high volume of voice, so we are not comfortable. So there is some of the example in which other customer also can affect our experience in getting a good services. And also children's crying in the cinema, audience carry on conversation during the play and so forth. So these are some of the example that other customer also can distract our can influence our service experience. So I think this is the last slide for today. Yeah, this is the last slide. So I hope that this a little bit of knowledge that I have and I share, is I can share with all of you, right? Students or my colleagues, whatsoever. So I hope you understand, and if you have any question, you can ask me after this. Thank you very much for give the opportunity to me to give some of the knowledge to others. Assalamualaikum. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Thank you very much, Professor Hayatul. The presentation was very interesting. Open our view about what services marketing, what the service marketing is, and also what are the parameters that need to be known about service marketing. Once again for audience, please all of you can ask to the speaker after the second speaker's presentation, or you can write the question to the chat room from now. And then next, the second speaker is Mr. Ari Wibowo Irawan, SPI Magister Management, which will be moderate by Mr. Doni. Mr. Doni?
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mr. Bambang. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope still joining our guest lecture at the afternoon. Please let me share some slide. This is the profile of Mr. Ari. First of all, we would like to say sorry to Mr. Ari because actually he agriculture, not fisheries. So Mas Ari ini lulusannya pertanian ya Mas, bukan perikanan. Mohon maaf tadi mungkin kami salah mengucapkan gitu. Tapi the interesting that Mrs. Hayato also is in maritime. Maybe you can collaborate something with Dr. Hayato in forward, because when we see Mr. Ari in his curriculum vitae, there is a lot of professional experience, especially in maritime. There is Mr. Ari is a founder of Zakindo, business advisor in Mine, and then the founder and director of PT Laut Kita Sukses, and then the lecturer in Faculty Economic in Unpad, the founder and commissioner at Roda Publica, founder director at Roda Bahari in 2006 until 2011 is the SOC National Marketing Manager. So when we see the experience of Pak Ari, we see that he often to involved in service marketing. So this is maybe his daily activity about marketing. So beside that, in certification, Pak Ari has been certified national in Indonesia by marketing in 2018, and then the entrepreneur marketing. The entrepreneur in 2019, same in the national certified profession, and then he also certified by Stephen, the intelligent machine. Maybe it's one of his abilities to read with the finger, maybe. Ms. Adi can explain later, maybe. Okay, this is his academic background. He undergraduate degrees from Magister Management Agribusiness of IPB, and master is also from IPB. and become lecturer in Pakuan, and now he is the head of the Pakuan University Career Development Center. His professional career is at Indonesian Logistic and Transportation Company. Started entrepreneurship since 2020 under several companies, Roda Bahari, Roda Publika Kreasi, Laut Kita Sukses, Zakindo Persada. In 2019, he also involved in startup business, e-commerce platform like Made in Indonesia. Mr. Ari also a YouTuber. There is a link in his YouTube. There is about 6,000 subscriber. Maybe his audience want to follow Mas Ari. You can see the YouTube. Then the time is yours, Mas Ari.
Thank you very much, Pak Doni. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi sholli sadri wa yassirli amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon and best wishes to all of us. Praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, God Almighty. We have been blessed and graced by the chance together in this momentous event, guest lecturing, marketing series between University of Pakuan and also Malaysia University Terengganu. And then I do believe that this event was held in collaboration between UNPAK and also University Malaysia of Terengganu and of course Institute Bisnis and Informatika Kesatuan or IBIK ya, because there is my friend here, Pak Bambang. Salam kenal Pak Bambang. Nice to meet you, Pak.
Thank you.
Salam kenal Pak. Because actually UNPAK and IBIK is a neighborhood ya in Bogor. But I heard from Dr. Farah that actually you are in doctoral program, if I'm not mistaken, in Malaysia. That's good to hear that. I hope everything will be finished ya, Pak Bambang ya, as soon as possible, Pak. So you can contribute to IBIK as well as to Indonesia. Excellency, Associate Professor Dr. Hayatul Safran binti Saleh. Good afternoon, Dr. Hayatul. It's very nice to get your presentation. I think that's a very excellent presentation. And then Excellency and my beloved colleague, Pak Doni Wihartika, and also the Wonder Woman from Pakuan, Dr. Yuari Faradia, because I do believe this event won't be succeed and happen without contributing from Dr. Faradia. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Faradia. And I also would like to give warm welcome to my colleagues from Pakuan University. I see many names here, Mr. Ketut Sunarta, Pak Ketut, selamat sore Pak Ketut, and also Miss Nina Sri Indawati, Miss Ira Anita, all my colleagues actually from Economic and Business Faculty, of course, and Mr. Saiful from Engineering Faculty, and also Miss Sarah is Mathematics and Natural Science, yeah, from Pakuan University. And last but not least, my beloved student from Pakuan University, student from University Malaysia of Terengganu, and maybe from IBIK ya, Pak Bambang ya. Okay, let me share the slide first. I hope everything running well as we expected, because when we have an online class or lecture like this, one of the challenges is actually to have a very good connection. Yeah, I hope everything will be okay lah. I think it's still processing. Let me check for a while, because I got information from Dr. Farah that I have an allocation like 1 hour. So I prepare everything. I hope everything will be okay. So everyone can see the slide, Pak Doni? Slide is okay, Pak?
Okay, it's showing. It's okay.
It's showing, yeah. Okay, Pak Doni, thank you very much. And then the slide is already changed, right, Pak Doni?
It's
already,
running.
yeah. Okay, Pak Doni already mentioned, and then I don't have to introduce again myself. This is my name, Ari Irawan. You can call me Ari. I'm from IPB University, from my bachelor and also postgraduate program. And then on the right side, that's my institution. I've been working for the private sectors, and then back to like 8 or 9 years ago, I've been establishing some companies actually in consulting, in publishing, in water treatment, and also in cold storage. Yeah. So here is the social media, but I think Pak Doni was mistake because my follower is not 6,000, only 600, Pak Doni. So I still need help actually. So this is www.madeinindonesia.com. You guys can access at www.madeindonesia.com. www.madeindonesia.com is actually a platform or e-commerce B2B platform to be exact, because in Indonesia we will know about Shopee, about Lazada, about Tokopedia, Bukalapak, and so on. That's actually B2C or C2C. Yeah? But what we are trying to introduce is B2B. B2B, like Alibaba, I can say that what we have been trying to build is B2B business. And then speaking about Made in Indonesia, last year, maybe about 1.5 years, yeah, Made in Indonesia already go live. And then we are happy by the end of 2020, we already get a funding from Medco Energy. So finally, we are part of Medco Group for the time being. Yeah. So we got invested from Medco Energy. Maybe that's previous one. Okay, I have three major subjects actually for this discussion. The first one is about marketing and sales. I do believe Dr. Hayatul already explained very clearly everything about theory and everything that's make me, would like to continue my study actually in Malaysia, because the presentation is really good. Speaking about marketing and sales, there is one of the expert in marketing. His name is Seth Godin. Seth Godin said, in attention economic like this one, marketers struggle for attention. If you don't have it, you lose. So how important is actually the marketing side? Maybe some of you still confused. Maybe some of you already understand better about marketing and also sales. But as we are in the field of management, we have to see clearly the difference between marketing and sales. Marketing and selling are two different things. Marketing is about getting noticed, and sell is about closing the deal. Both of them are really important, because marketing is you make a crowd, you make customer to come to you and then notice with your product, and then you also need the group of sales to closing the deal, because if no closing, no deal, and then no money and then no salary. That's actually what important about marketing and salary. Okay, right now we are facing noisy market. Yeah, I do believe that marketing is actually you are trying to creating value what you offering to customer. But offering value is not enough if no one knows or care about what you have to offer. It doesn't matter how much your value you create. So generating value, create your value is one thing, but to get people notice about your value, I think that's another thing. So everything which is underestimated definitely doesn't have a good marketing. So that's why we need to have our product well known by everyone, especially our potential customer. So I really like this picture actually. This is remind me one of the cartoon movie, because I have daughters, and then my daughter really like Madagascar. This is one of the characters, actually the zebra. Dare to be different. I know that it's not easy to be different. Try to be different is sometimes it needs a courage, because people is intent to have or follow everything which is mainstream. So being anti-mainstream is something that need a courage. Yeah. So you need the courage to be different. So speaking about difference is really important. Different is necessary thing, but it's not sufficient. So what I mean is, it's okay to be different. You need to be different, but what kind of different actually you need? You need to create a meaning. So different is not enough. You need to create a meaning. So from these pictures, we can take a lesson is actually being slightly different. I think it's better comparing to being slightly better. I repeat again. Being slightly different, it's better actually compared to being slightly better. So if we talk about being slightly better or being slightly different, so we are talking about value proposition. Value proposition is actually the unique selling point that you are trying to offer to your customer. Please take a look at the left side. That's a product and also services, even though that we are more focused about services management. But on the left side, product and services, we are basically have a two option. The first option is how we can gain something. I mean, how we can create gain. And then the second thing is how we can be a pain revealer. This is very two important thing, because people is want to get something which is beneficial for all of them, right? So either we give them something which is make everything become more efficient or effective, or maybe you can be part of the solution regarding the pain. Yeah. So the main point is about value proposition is how you can connect your product with something that actually what I call it customer need. Yeah. So every successful business find a way to attract attention of the right people. I mean, in this case, is qualified prospect and make them interested what being offered. So modern life is overloaded with demand on your attention. Everyone has too many things to do, but too little time we have. Because I do believe there is a work to be done. People need to call, email need to be checked, video to watch, music to listen to, and countless website, platform, marketplace to visit. So I do believe that customer need to keep, it's difficult for customer to keep up with everything in this world, because customer need to filter it. Customer need to ration their attention, allocating more thing about they care and less thing to what they don't care about. So that's the point about value proposition. Okay, this is, I will go to the, I mean, this is like a fun fact actually. So when after we have a theory and something, we have something about value proposition, I think we have take a look at the market, real market. Dr. Hayatul, I'm sorry that most of the example maybe in this slide is more Indonesian, yeah, a more Indonesian example. But I do believe most of the students from Malaysia can take a lesson from this. Maybe you can do the trading or you can do the e-commerce, right, with the Indonesian people. So I would like to give a brief characteristic of Indonesian population or Indonesian customer. Yeah. So if we talk about Muslim in the world, there are 1.7 billion Muslim in the world. But if we go to Indonesia, Indonesia is actually not a Muslim country, but we are, yes, majority is Muslim. Yeah. So Muslim in Indonesia is more than 200 million, right? So our total population is maybe like 280 right now. 200 more is Muslim actually. This is one of the trend about middle class Muslim in Indonesia, right? We heard many people spoken about middle class because middle class is so sexy. They have money, they have willingness to pay, they're able to pay, right? So that's going to be very interesting segment market. So speaking about the trend middle class Muslim, the first one is booming of Islamic bank, right? The second one is hijaber revolution. I'm sorry about the typo. And then the third is Muslim cosmetic. Number 3 is pilgrim routine or umroh. Yeah, maybe this is one of the Pak Bambang expert ya, Pak Bambang ya, because if I'm not mistaken, you are head of tourism. I do believe is umroh or pilgrim is actually part of the tourism, but the religious one ya, Pak. And then number 4 is Syariah hotel. Many hotel in Indonesia, but right now there is a specific segment, Dr. Hayatul, is this a Syariah hotel. So everyone who will booking the hotel, they need to show the ID card. Yeah. So the receptionist will ask you whether you are husband and wife or and so on and so on. Yeah. That's a Syariah hotel. And then Islamic culture passion, and then Muslim entrepreneurship. There is a big community here about Muslim communityship. And then about sadaqah and zakat, sadaqah and zakat, we have many community like Basnas, like Dompet Duafa, and many more The last one is halal label. Speaking about halal label, in Malaysia, halal is very booming, right? But in Indonesia, sometimes it's difficult to implement halal. Halal in Indonesia related with MUI or Majelis Ulama Indonesia, but actually halal is not only labeling your product by Arabic letter like halal, but halal is actually about transparency. How you can give a guarantee, how you can keep your promise to your customer. That's actually what we call halal. Okay, I will go more practical for this one. This is one of my favorite pyramid actually about product and service level. Speaking about product and services, there are 3 steps. The first one is primary, the second one is secondary, the third one is traffic generator. Please don't get me wrong, but the traffic generator sometimes is the most important thing, right? Because traffic generator is the one who bring you crowd. Okay, I will give you an example. One of the culinary maybe in Indonesia, the name is geprek bensu Pak Bambang Geprek bensu is ayam geprek, right? But why people is keep coming to geprek bensu, Pak? Because there is a one item in geprek bensu that's a really crazy cheap, Pak. It's below 20,000, Pak, or like 10,000 something lah. You already can eat something. That's gonna be like a menu or item that bring a crowd, right? And then not only that, you also need to have a product or service identity. Of course, we go to the bottom first. Everything should have a product and service identity. If we talk about Starbucks, we remember about coffee. If we talk about KFC, we remember about chicken, right? If we talk about McDonald's, we talk about burger or Burger King or something like that. So that's actually the product or service identity. In primary product, there must be high sales quantity, but the profit per unit is relatively low. And then the second thing is secondary product. I call it maybe the back end product. So the first one is front end, the second one is back end. Back end is actually a product that complementary the first one. For example, I don't know, in Indonesia something is confusing. Because if we don't eat rice, sometimes people don't feel full, right? So they think that they haven't eat well. So like McDonald's, like Burger King, maybe it's difficult for us if we go to Thailand to find rice in McDonald's or in Burger King. But in Indonesia, everything is rice. That's a problem. But speaking about additional product or services as a back end, actually, the quantity of the sales is relatively low, but the profit per unit is relatively high. Okay, that's the difference. So I will give an example to make it clear, like this one. We can learn from Starbucks. So Starbucks, the core product or the penetration product is actually the coffee. Let me move to the left side. Okay, that's a coffee. Coffee is actually what we call it here, the product identity. Okay, coffee is the product identity, and then the pastry and so on and so on. Okay, the back end is actually the product support. I call it the product support. And then the last one is merchandise. You can have a tumbler and everything. So I would like to have a question maybe to the all audience. Which one from the three, this one, right? From the coffee, from the food, and also from the tumbler and merchandise, which one is actually the generating profit, the most generating profit? Anyone can speak up, or anyone can answer, or maybe Pak Bambang, Pak, if you have any prediction, Pak, which one is actually as a profit generator, Pak?
Well, when guessing, maybe it's the coffee, because Starbucks sell coffee for the main menu. Okay,
Pak Doni said that's actually the coffee, ya Pak ya, because that's the core product, ya Pak ya. And then Pak Bambang, do you have any other idea, Pak?
I don't know exactly. Maybe in the future maybe additional.
Maybe the additional, Pak, yeah. Okay, I will tell you guys the truth about Starbucks because I've been interviewing some Starbucks employee. So this is actually the real evidence, Pak, yeah. Starbucks, indeed, they sell many coffee, Pak. But actually the margin is very low, Pak. Why the margin per unit is very low? Because they try to standardize the packaging, Pak. So all the plastic, everything is recyclable, Pak. So that's make the cost it's quite high, including the coffee, Pak. They got from many supplier. And then speaking about additional food, Pak, or additional product, Starbucks is actually pointed vendor. So they don't do it by themselves, but they only outsource the food, Pak. So the margin also relatively low, Pak. And then one of the very surprising me is actually the merchandise side, Pak. The merchandise side, they imported from China, right? If we see the price of the tumbler is almost like maybe $4 or $5 ya, Pak Doni ya, in Indonesia, Pak.
Quite expensive.
Yeah, it's quite expensive. Maybe like 500,000 rupiah, yeah. But they only buy it very cheap, Pak, from China, Pak. Yeah. So actually the margin from the merchandise that what they are trying to encourage, Pak. So that's why no wonder Starbucks keep encourage us, yeah, to bring our tumbler. So there is a movement like BYOB, bring your own tumbler to Starbucks, so you can have a top up or bigger your size, yeah, during your ordering the coffee. So that's the Starbucks strategy. And then we can also learn from McDonald's strategy. Speaking about revenue stream, there are two options. The first one is cross-selling, and then the other one is upselling. Cross-selling, that you are selling one package together. So you are not only selling the burger, but you also offering French fries and also soft drink. But upselling is actually you try to offering the customer to upsize the size, yeah, Pak, yeah. Like for example, do you want a regular one or upsize, yeah? In Starbucks, maybe there is a venti or something like that. So this kind of strategy should be offered to customer to maximize our profit or revenue, cross-selling and also upselling. But I would like to take note regarding the cross-selling. If we are trying to offer the cross-selling, please make sure that all the stuff, right, or all the product should be related. Okay, burger with the French fries is something that complementary, right? Burger with soft drink is something also complementary. Okay, let's go to the second section. Yeah, it's about disruption. We already discussed about marketing. What is the difference between marketing and sales, right? What is the Indonesian population and trend? Now we talk about something that actually we cannot deny. The name is disruption. So Jack Welch said, when the rate of change outside exceeds the rate of change inside, the end is sight. Okay, the end is inside. So what I mean is we need to do the prevent action instead of responsive one. Okay, this is like a disruption. So all the industry, one by one industry are enter on the radar of disruption, not only media, but also retail, but also property, education, travel, F&B, automotive, health, beauty, care, and also financial. All of them already become or enter the radar of disruption. Actually, there are three main factors, which is triple the disruption or making a domino effect. The first one is digital disruption. Digital disruption, maybe I can explain later. And then the second one is millennial disruption. And then the third one is pandemic disruption. The three of these factors is actually combined and become domino effect. Okay, there is a technology change. There are new platforms. There are new product and services which is already digitalized. Microprocessor, Internet of Things, social media, smartphone, and so on. Okay, and then this is, I think, very important because we are actually shifting from asset to system. we are trying to shifting from product to platform. So for today, is not the question of whether you can build or develop a system. I think everyone can develop a system here, but the problem is who will actually using your apps in the future. So this is the war of platform. If we take a look Shopee and Lazada, because there is a Shopee and Lazada in Malaysia, because both of them are regional, or maybe Bukalapak, Tokopedia in Indonesia, or Blibli, there is a shop, but they don't have any product yet. They don't have any inventory. And then Netflix, film without cinema. There is a Spotify, music without song. Social media, Facebook, there is no content in Facebook. There is no photo actually in Instagram. There is no dance or content in TikTok, because actually we are the one who creating the content. If we talk about Airbnb, if we talk about Red Doors, about Oyo maybe in Indonesia, that's a property business without having a building. So during the pandemic, the property owner, they are suffering. But Airbnb, they are less suffering because actually they don't have the property. They don't need to manage the property. And then the last one is Grab. I know that Grab, there is a Grab in Malaysia, but Indonesia is Gojek. There is a transportation business without own vehicle. Okay, that's the first disruption about digital. And then the second one is about millennials. By definition, if we, according to Time magazine, is millennials is people aged 16 until 36. Yeah, maybe Pak Doni, we are senior ya Pak Doni ya, senior millennial or millennial angkatan pertama Pak, which is born 1985, the first millennial. Yeah, that's by the definition. One of the very surprising data is from Indonesian National Development Planning Agency or Bappenas. Actually, almost 33% Indonesian from total population is actually millennials, Pak. So 80 million something, Pak, from Indonesia is actually millennial. This is very sexy segment actually. This is millennials. How the characteristic, how their tendency, right? They are very confident. They are collective. They are connected. Okay, they are customized. They are multitasking, okay? They are information overload. They are very efficient, and then one thing for sure is they really believe their friend. So that's what I call it peer affirmation rules. So when I try to watch a new movie, maybe I don't watch the trailer, but I will ask my friend whether the film is good or not. Or maybe we can see the rating if you want to buy something, right? Rating is very powerful. So rating and review is something that really determine the success in millennials' point of view. And then the last one is about pandemic. Of course, everything changed due to pandemic. Yeah. We are, I think, overload of Zoom or workshop. Everything become live in YouTube, certification, training in YouTube. You can have a discussion in Instagram Live. You can have virtual class. You can have a live sport. You can have everything actually, right? Including live cooking, yeah, with influencer. So nothing is impossible. Everything due to COVID. I mean, we need to adjust our habits because everything is changed. So the question is, disruption prone company, who are they? Jadi pertanyaannya siapa nih yang terdampak sekali dari apa namanya dari kejadian ini gitu ya. The first one is of course the heavy asset company, okay, which is dominated by unproductive physical asset, overhead burden squeezes that build up while cash flow drag on. So the company which has heavy asset will suffering. I will give you an example. This is the example from Indonesia. BNI, okay, BNI from banking, closed 96 branch offices in 2021, okay? Okay, and then there is an airline, one of Indonesian, maybe this is best airline from Indonesia, yeah? Garuda Indonesia and Sriwijaya Air is under one group. Right now is offering early retirement to their employee because I have a friend in Garuda, he also got an offering like this one. And then Garuda need to cut their fleet by half and then the total loss in rupiah is 1.4 trillion per month. You can imagine that's really big one. And then if we talk about another state-owned enterprise, PLN, in the last 5 years, PLN debt has swelled to around 500 trillion to build electricity infrastructures. This is one the main issue actually we are facing. Speaking about banking, maybe I can make a step or make a transformation stage for the banking. Bank 1.0 is actually the traditional banking. Okay, traditional banking, it means that they are using the office or branches as an access point. But the bank 2.0 is more like a self-service banking. They already have ATM, they have internet, okay, and then they can have transaction beyond the office hour. And then the bank 3.0 is, I call it bank whenever, wherever banking, because they are using smartphone, they are using mobile payment. And then the last one, bank 4.0, it's a real-time banking because it's already supported by IoT and omni-channel. What's meant by omni-channel is we know that actually banking is supporting or have a partnership with the P2P lending to channeling their lending or something like that. So currently they are omni-channel or multi-payment to reach the customer. And then this is happy asset for the private sector, Pak. There is a supermarket, we call it Giant. I do believe Pak Bambang, Pak Doni usually went to this supermarket, ya Pak ya. Unfortunately, Hero Group will close all the Giant supermarket, Pak, by the end of July 2021. So I think that's also happened to the Matahari, Pak. Matahari will close 13 stores in 2021. It's also happened affected to the Ramayana, Pizza Hut, KFC. Kinokuniya is actually one of my favorite bookstore in Plaza Senayan, and also Nikon, Pak. All affected. The second company that will affected is the one who lack of digital ability, because lack of digital ability means weak competitive advantage, not agile to respond to change due to bureaucracy, and no wonder why startup, small, medium enterprise with relatively light asset are able to survive. So I call it pivot strategy. Pak Bambang, if I'm not mistaken, there are many tourism player, Pak, then finally shifting from tourism into culinary, Pak, for time being during the COVID, Pak, because tourism is the most affected sector during the COVID. And then the third one is old and declining brand. Millennials need wow factors. Millennials care about cool factor. So aging brand, there is many aging brand doesn't have a cool factor anymore. So it's not really, to be a focus of millennial. So we need to rebranding. We need to build a story behind our brand. So we'll get attention of millennials. And then this is the fourth, high touch crowd mobility, Pak. Yeah, by default, tourism business has those characteristics, Pak. So that's why no wonder tourism is the most sector that affected by COVID. And then this is the last one, inefficient and protected. It doesn't mean that I would like to show all negativity about Indonesian state own state companies, but I do believe if we try to take a lesson from the failure, it's better comparing to from the success one, because from the failure we can get to benefit. The first one is how to avoid that kind of thing to happen to you, and the second thing, what is the lesson behind it, right? BUMN or own state company in Indonesia act as a regulator, but sometimes they also act as an operator. But unfortunately, since many things happen, the digitalization, COVID, and everything, they also there is a profit fell drastically, and some even loss up. Okay, this is the last one. I still have time, ya Pak Doni ya. Is it okay, Pak Doni, to continue again?
It's okay, still.
Okay, yeah. Okay, this is the last one about market competition. There is a proverb actually. Small is beautiful, but big is better. So, I mean, whether you choose the small one, that's beautiful, or you choose the big one, that's going to be better. There is a keyword from Dr. Hayatul in the previous presentation said about alliance. Alliance is a very powerful one, right? If we talk about alliance, and then we cannot ignore about the market structures, because in market there are 4 players. The first one is market leader. The market leaders is a company that actually came first in the industry, right? They control the price, they control everything. So market leader identically with the brand name. For example, mineral water in Indonesia, we know Aqua, right? So everyone who order mineral water always call Aqua. Or maybe some people in Padang call motorcycle is Honda, because actually Honda is the one who entered the market at the first time. So that's the market leader. There is a strategy here below: expand the market, defend the market, and expand the market. The second one is market challenger. Market challenger is the company which is actually challenge the market leader. If we talk about market motorcycle, Honda is actually having competition with Yamaha. So Yamaha will be market challenger. They need to attack the leader. Okay, like for example, there is a motorcycle called Mio in Indonesia,
the
right?
One, yes.
The Matic one, Mio, right? That's for women, very specific market. And then Honda tried to what I call it, try to produce another brand. We call it Vario, ya Pak Doni ya. Mio and Vario, Bit and also Bit. Okay, and then the third one is market follower. Market follower is a smaller company, so they need to imitate, right? They need to imitate the challenger. Maybe like a Suzuki, maybe in the car like a Honda, there is a Toyota, maybe this is like a Suzuki. And then the last one is market nicher. Market nicher is a company with the specialization. Maybe in motorcycle, there is a Ninja. Ninja is for the big motorcycle, right? And maybe in the car is like a Tesla. Tesla with the electricity car. That's going to become one of the advantage for the company. Okay, speaking about market structures, let's see the another country, the big country, USA and also China. In USA, we know about Big Four. The Big Four is Amazon, Google, Facebook, and also Apple. We can add like another one, like Microsoft actually. But in China, they try to compete with those with the American company. If America have Amazon, China have Alibaba. They also have Jingdong or JD.com, right? America have a Google, but China have a Baidu. So when the last time I went to Beijing, to Shanghai, we cannot access our Gmail, right, or Google. So we are using Baidu. Sorry. And then China also have Tencent and also ByteDance. Yeah. TikTok and something is actually, so China is really powerful. What I'm trying to say about the giant technology, or I call it the club of giant, like this one. There is a change in competition. There is a different war right now. Some people said, if you know the game, you know that actually the war is everywhere. Okay, if you know the game, the war is everywhere. Maybe in the past decade, Coca-Cola is competing with the Pepsi, or McDonald's competing with Burger King. But what they're trying to compete is actually in operation race. But now they are not competing in operation, but they are competing in capital and market race. For example, there is a logo here in Indonesia, maybe from the Malaysian student. Tokopedia is actually the same like Shopee lah, but this is Indonesian brand already invested by the foreign company also. Tokopedia as a marketplace just merged with the Gojek. Gojek is transportation online just like Grab. So they are merged into one. The name is GoTo. So Tokopedia merger with Gojek become one as a GoTo. And then Bukalapak is also marketplace from Indonesia, belong to MTech, right? MTech currently already bought little share from Grab, Pak Doni, recently. So this is going to be interesting, Pak. We will see the future. Maybe Bukalapak will merge also with the Grab, Pak. If it happen, and then we will have two very big giant, Pak, in Indonesia. There are two things how the giant technology can have bigger market. The first one is they will eat you. If they cannot eat you, they will kill you. So there is only two options: eat or kill. It means they will make an acquisition to your company. But kills mean they will make a cloning product similar to your product. Okay, whether you are agree, they will make an acquisition, or if you don't agree or disagree, they will make almost the same product. I will give you an example here. This is one of the Facebook strategy. Facebook is actually on Instagram, and then if we open WhatsApp, actually Facebook also own WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is powered by Facebook, right? Now after they have Instagram and Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp, Facebook also would like to have Snapchat, but Snapchat rejected. What Facebook have is they try to clone the feature of Snapchat on Instagram and also WhatsApp. That's happened. And then this is another example. What is Google strategy? Google try to eat Picasa. Picasa is actually like a photo application. Yeah? So after they succeed in Picasa, they convert Picasa into Google Photo. So using different brand. Yeah? So already have it, and then they change the name into Google Photo. And then what about Twitter? This is actually really very interesting. Yeah? Twitter try to eat Clubhouse. Clubhouse is actually only for iOS user. Clubhouse almost bought by Twitter for $4 billion US, but finally Clubhouse is they rejected. Finally, Twitter tried to clone it. Twitter has a Twitter Space, right? On the other hand, Facebook also tried to imitate, right, the feature from Clubhouse using live audio room. Spotify, they also try to imitate using a locker room. Also happened to Instagram, LinkedIn, and also Slack. Okay, this is the last slide. So in conclusion, if startup versus startup, I think that's a fair game. But what happened recently is startup versus technology giant. That's going to be game over. But I would like to give a spirit or try to encourage all the millennials here in this Zoom meeting. Keep trying, okay? Keep identifying what is the problem, okay? So you can come up with the solution. You can build your own startup. After you succeed with your startup, you having your money, and then you need to convert or you need to buy, okay, fixed asset from your money. Startup company is about valuation. Okay, once again, startup company is about valuation. It's not surprisingly that many startup is actually valued more than Garuda Indonesia right now. Because startup is not only talk about tangible asset, but talk about intangible asset. But you can see the pattern. If someone already succeed with the startup, they have a lot of money. They try to buy the fixed asset, because at the end of the story, everyone will. The one who control the fixed asset, that's the matter actually. So I think that's all from me. Pak Doni, Dr. Hayatul, and also Pak Bambang. I'm sorry for any mistaken, Pak, or something that misinterpreted, because we do believe that English is not our mother language, Pak. Yeah, we try our best to speak in English. Thank you very much, Pak Doni. Thank you very much, everyone, for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Really such an opener, an eye-opener presentations, and maybe I can give some summaries about Mr. Ari presentations. The first is about, there is 3 segments in Mr. Ari's segmentation. The first is about marketing and sales. He started about the zebra, the Marty, and how to become a difference. Then Mr. Ari also describe about the Muslim community in Indonesia, and also say that Mr. Bambang have a pilgrim business. Mr. Bambang also, Pak Bambang, if I'm not mistaken, also having a Hajj in 2015. The second part is about disruption. The point is about the triple disruption in domino effect. The summary is about, if I'm not mistaken, is David versus Goliath scheme, and where there's the SMA can fight with the big companies. And then the third section is about the marketing competitions. There's some code that Mr. Ari explains about the operation race become capital and market race. The second is the startup versus tech giants, and then the it acquisition or kill on the product. Hopefully it's it will be add our knowledge about the service marketings. Thank you, Mr. Ari. Big applause for he. Okay, move on to the next section is the question and answer. Mr. Bambang, still on?
Yes, Mr.
Okay.
Dodi.
Okay, is there any questions? Oh, maybe there's someone with you from Mr. Bambang wanted to greet.
Okay, all right. After the completion of the second presentation from Mr. Ari, now we are entered to the question and answer session. I would like to invite all of you, audience, to directly ask to our two speakers today by turning on your camera and speakers to mute. Unmute. And then before that, please raise hand, and for those who wants to ask directly, please don't forget to state your name and then which institution are you from and who is the question for, and then the question itself. Please, okay. Please, you can raise hand. Pak Dodi sambil dilihat siapa yang raise hand, Pak.
Ya, mungkin sambil, kalau ini Malaysia dan Indonesia bahasanya sama Melayu, jadi kalau agak susah di bahasa Inggris, silakan.
Vio Felicita. Vio, can you open your camera and then also you can unmute. And then
yes, sir.
Okay, Vio. Okay, Vio.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hi, Vio.
Hello.
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 Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Vio Felicita, and I'm from Tourism Program of Institute of Business and Informatics of Kesatuan.
Okay.
My question is my question is for Professor Dr. Hayatul Safrah binti Saleh. My question is sometimes some of us still can't tell the difference between place and physical evidence in marketing mix 7 Ps. Please, once again, Professor, please explain what's the difference between the two is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vio. Professor, are you?
You're welcome.
You can understand?
Saya
Situation.
itu daripada Felicita ke?
Yeah, I think Vio asking about the
difference.
Sometimes some people still confused about differences between place and physical evidence, Professor. In marketing mix.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Izinkan saya menjawab ya.
Ya, silakan.
In English, of course.
It's okay.
Oh, boleh campur kan?
Boleh.
Jadi ya, if place meaning that a place is where the services is given, by the service provider. For example, maybe in the shop, or also via what we call that internet. Because nowadays is a self-service is we are using a lot of self-service, online service, online online banking, online purchasing as well. So that is place, But the other one, what we call it, apa tadi Felicita katakan?
Physical evidence.
Between service, apa tu?
Place and physical
evidence. Yeah. And physical evidence meaning that it's not only place, bukan saja the tempat tersebut ataupun kedai tersebut, tetapi physical evidence is including including for example what you call that, the uniform of the service provider or the employee of the service provider. For example, kalau if you go to the hotels, you can differentiate between a bellboy and the receptionist and the we call that the waitress in their restaurant. So the uniform that they wear is part of the physical evidence, and also the equipment there. For example, the perabot, the kerusi, chairs, tables. So all of that are the part of the physical evidence. And also as small as the business card, or the signage, right? The signage stating that toilets or restaurant, and lots more. So that are some of the example of physical evidence. So place is where the service is provided by the service provider. So that is the difference between place P or 4-piece place and the other one. The physical evidence. So I hope Felicia understand. Did I answer your question, please?
Yes, thank you so much, Professor.
Okay, thank you, Felicia.
Okay, any question? Another question?
Yes, there is another question, Abah Bambang, from Haikal. Yes, from Haikal.
Muhammad Haikal.
Okay.
Please, Muhammad Haikal.
Please.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is
Haikal.
Muhammad Haikal Rukanda from Tourism Program of Institute of Business and Informatics Satuan. I will ask for Professor Dr. Hayatul Safrah binti Soleh. Prof, can you tell us about the current situation of the COVID pandemic in Malaysia, especially in Terengganu, and what service business are affected by the disaster? How about hospitality industry? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, okay, if I can share a little bit about the COVID-19 situation in Terengganu, of course, because I'm here in Terengganu. So basically now we are in the process of what we call that a lockdown. Lockdown for 14 days. For 14 days. So because of the cases of COVID keep on raising every day before this. So the government has decided to, all of us, we call it PKP, or MCO, so lockdown, in which we only can travel within 10 kilometers from our home. So this situation is really affected, especially for the a lot of services industrial sectors, especially restaurant, and also the hospitality sectors. Mainly we call it a hotel. Yeah, hotel. Doesn't matter the hotel is 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, or 4 star hotel in Terengganu. Every hotel in Terengganu are affected. It's not like KL, because some of the hotels or hospitality industry in Kuala Lumpur, they are affected, of course, but some of them are still running. Maybe at the minimal, minimal service, because some of the hotel has been using as the place for the quarantine. That people come back from from overseas, yeah. So they will they were quarantined there in some of the hotel that I know. For example, yeah, hotel Grand Millennium, yeah, and hotel a lot more, Grand Millennium, Istana Hotel, and so forth. Yeah. So although they are affected, but they are still running at a minimum cost. But in Terengganu, most of the hotels are not operating. So how they cope with this situation? Yeah, because they have employees, right? So what they do is, from my observation, yeah, what they do is they are focusing on food. Food and beverages. Yeah. So some of the hotel, they still using their kitchen and their restaurant, but not for dine in, but for delivery. Delivery and also the pickup the food. So because because one of the 2 star hotel in the Terengganu is my friend. So I did talk to her. She said that she can close that, and she can close her hotel, or also the restaurant. But then what she told me is, if I close every services, hotel and also the restaurant, what will her employees will do? They will don't have any jobs to do, right? So because they are so they're so concerned about the employees, so she just opened the kitchen. So the staff are still there to cook and also to delivery the food to the customer that ordered. So what I from my observation, most of the hospitality sector in Terengganu, most of them maybe the room already not that but then they are focusing on the selling the food, yeah, to the customer, yeah. But they did affected them so much.
Ya, hopefully semoga semuanya sehat ya, Prof ya. Semoga semuanya sehat ya.
Any other question?
Okay.
There is the third questions, if I'm not mistaken, from Salsabila. Hello, Salsabila.
Hello.
Okay, please, Salsabila.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. My name is Salsabila Adita Putri from Tourism Program of Institute of Business and Informatik Kesatuan Bogor, Indonesia. I want to ask to Professor Dr. Hayatul Safrah. The question is, according to Prof. Hayatul, will electronic services threaten the 7P marketing mix? Because with the current technology, it seems that you will no longer need place, people, and physical evidence. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the questions. So the question is is about the e-marketing, right? E-services. And then you said that they don't need places anymore at this time. Yes, you are correct. Yeah, because of this situation, because of the pandemic of COVID-19. Yeah, the service provider are now shifting, yeah, from the using their place, yeah, towards the using the internet or the online services, yeah. So although they are using that, because uh, they have to use this online service or online purchasing because of the consumer nowadays cannot go anywhere. Yeah, we have to stay in our home, and in fact, now we can buy anything, any product, any goods via online. As for example, for me, yesterday sorry, last week, I bought a rice, yeah, 5 kg of rice, yeah, from online, because normally I just go to the shop or to the Giant, that kind of things, and then buy there. But because of, it's not that I cannot go, I can go there. One person is allowed to go shopping, but I rather use, yeah, online shopping. I rather pay their delivery services because of the concerns of my health. Because that COVID-19 is everywhere. We cannot see that virus. So because of that, because of sentiment of health sentiment and so forth, or kita rasa apa, takut kan, to keluar daripada rumah. So because of that lah, we focus on, most of the customer focus on the online shopping. So this is what should the services sector doing now, focusing on that, even though banking sector and a lot of things, security, we can security also focusing more on the online security. So a lot of things. In fact, if we another thing is, let me say an example of the Netflix, for example. They have give a lot of promotion to the customer, assistance customer, also the new one, because of that we are looking for that at the moment. Yeah. So I hope I can answer your questions, Miss. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you for the answer.
Thank you.
Continuing with the question from the Salsabila about challenging between electronic services and become affect to others marketing mix. This question from for Mr. Ari. You told us about distraction, sir. And then this is distraction. So and then after many cases in distraction in the world, in Indonesia, and also maybe in Malaysia. So what do you think, sir? How do we prepare? How do you about the future? I mean, what kind of business is very good business? Is a little bit safe from the disruption. Okay, from Mr. Ari.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bambang. Mohon izin ya, Pak Doni, Dr. Hayatul. Okay, speaking about disruption, actually this is something that we cannot deny or we cannot ignore, right? At the same time, I mean, change is part of life, but the main issue is how we can change faster than the change itself. I mean, how we can prevent it rather than do the responsive or what do you call it? I mean, it's better for us to make a prediction, right? As a businessman or as an academician, we are actually facing many changes in life. right? And then we can see many pattern actually of the change, especially during the digitalization. So actually we can predict it. If we can predict it, and then we better make a move on it, right? So that's about the disruption. And then the second thing is how we deal with that, right? How we deal with the disruption is actually we need to have a collaboration. Recently, I think one of the company or many company, they cannot satisfy all the customers. They need to choose which segment to serve. That's the main point. For example, like Starbucks that I mentioned in my presentation, Starbucks only focus on coffee. And then if someone come to having a pastry or something, they will outsource it to the third party. Okay, so they only buy it. And then it's also happened with the tumbler. They order it from China. All they have to do is only put a Starbucks brand in the tumbler, and then the price is become higher. So I think in this situation, how we can avoid or minimize the disruption is how we can focus on what we are good at, and then the rest we can having a collaboration or synergize with other parties, because other parties also have their own core competence. So everything will become efficient. I think that's my point of view, Pak Bambang. Yeah, maybe if there is any another perspective from Dr. Hayatul, I also would like to hear about that one. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ari.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ari. Maybe we will hear from Dr. Hayatul later. There is one more questions, if I'm not mistaken, from to Mr. Ari, from Mr. Dion, ya, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Dion.
Ya, betul. Assalamualaikum Pak Ari.
Okay, please, Mr. Dion.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I want to ask something about mungkin sedikit menyimpang ya ini Pak Ari ya. How the pandemic has changed the world economy ya. We know that the coronavirus pandemic has reached almost every country in the world. Okay, and then we know that our business, our society, our everything lah ya. And then we have a student in university, and then after they graduated from our school, they may face a difficult year, yeah, because they must be a job seekers, right? Okay, and then what do you think about? Is it okay for us? I mean, if this is the second question. Is it okay for now, right now, to build a new business? Okay, I mean for small business, because you gave us an example from a big business like Starbucks, GoTo, Bukalapak, and so on. But what do you think about that? Can you give a suggestion to us?
Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Dion, for your question.
Yeah,
actually, there are two questions. The first one is about COVID that is happened around the world, and then the second one is whether is it the right time to open new business or start new business. Okay, speaking about the COVID, I think this is a global issue, not only Indonesia, but it's happened to all the countries. And also Malaysia. I read the news that actually Malaysia is right now in the second period of COVID. Yeah, Dr. Hayatul. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's also happened to India. And I think Indonesia need to be careful and need to be prepared for that one. So the point is, speaking about COVID, we are in the new, what I call it, new normal era. So sometimes it's hard to make a change, right? But if the only option we have is change, right? Because COVID push us, COVID make us to change. Lecturer usually go to campus having a lecture, but now they need to teach via Zoom or something. I think that's the new normal. I do believe that many people actually currently is tired of this kind of situation, but we don't have any choice, right? So this is the new normal that we have to deal with. And then in my prediction, maybe this situation will continue or carry on not only on this year but also maybe the 2022. Yeah, that's my prediction. And then speaking about the business, okay. Business, there is a basic rule in business: high risk, high return. But we need to ask first to ourselves whether we have an ample of capital or not. If we don't have plenty of capital, maybe culinary could be one of the option. Okay, for example, in Indonesia, Dr. Hayatul, many small medium enterprise in Indonesia is growing because we have GoFood, we have GrabFood. GoFood and GrabFood is actually the secondary services from Gojek and Grab, because their primary services is actually how to deliver or try to pick up someone from one place to another place, right? But due to GoFood and GrabFood, many small medium enterprise, especially the culinary, even though the location is not really strategic, they are having very good customer. And right now, in the last about 1 month or 2 months from before, there is a new player, Dr. Hayatul, in this industry in Indonesia. The name is Shopee Food. Shopee Food is belong to Shopee, right? So Shopee Food is trying to burn the money. We call it bakar uang, because they have free ongkir or free ongkos kirim. They have a discount until 40%. I think there is a good chance, Pak Dion, to do that, because culinary, I think, is really open. Everybody is, they are getting tired. They try to back to normal. Yeah, I see mall is slowly but surely getting back to normal lah, slowly but surely. But I don't really think that everything will be sooner or later will be as normal as before. But there is a slightly normal lah, comparing to the previous years. That's my point of view, ya Pak Dion, ya. Culinary, because low budget for the capital.
Yeah, because we know right now is a difficult year for job seekers. Yeah. Do you have any advice for our fresh grads to compete? Because when you said you advise a culinary as a business, a small business, of course, yeah, everybody will do the same, gitu ya, making the same business, like you said. What do you think about that, Mr. Ari? Maybe this is the last question from me. Thank you.
Okay, no problem, Pak Dion. I think this is very good question, yeah, Dr. Hayatul. I mean, what Pak Dion said, that what about if everybody think the same way? They start the business culinary, right? And then the market become red ocean. That's the theory, right? There is a blue ocean, there is a red ocean. Okay, for me, join the red ocean, it's still okay. Okay, if you have a time frame, this is quite good for your testing the market. Because when you try to choose, let's say you are entering the coffee business, you are entering the burger business, you can evaluate, because culinary sometimes is like a very good dream. Yeah, we can judgment the success of the business only about 6 months, because culinary need to be judged more than 6 months. That's my perspective for the culinary. After that one is, I think students from Pakuan, from Kesatuan, also from Tengganu, need to think about product which is could be moved to the higher level. I mean, like an industrial one. We need to think about how we can produce the product which is can absorb by B2B, not only B2C. Because if your customer is only B2C, all right, it means that you are entering the retail business. But if you try to do the B2B business, okay, you are trying to sell in very big quantity, and then you can get, very long period of the demand. I think that's my opinion, Pak Dion.
Okay, thank you, Pak Ari.
Adding some,
yeah.
Okay, just like Pak Ari said earlier, yeah, I agree with him. Blue ocean or red ocean, because we have to remember that consumer or people like us, yeah, we have a different taste, we have a different needs, and we have the same needs, but we have different ones. Betul tak? So whatever you the culinary services, yeah, whatever, even though that katalah, let's say the donut is already there, everybody sell donut or everybody sell nasi, nasi
lemak,
kuning or whatsoever, kan, nasi penyet whatsoever. So but the taste, the ones that for everybody or the consumer is different. So maybe you can tap into one, one part of the consumer, because please remember that consumer are different. So try to tap to the right consumer, the right customer, with the, when you go to the right machine, then you make sure that your product is a little bit better than others. So it doesn't matter, yeah, if, because nowadays we have to do that, especially for the culinary industry, yeah, because if not, yeah lah, you have to do that, you have to tap, you have to, we call it usaha, you have to, maybe yours is better than others, who knows, yeah?
Better and suits the target maybe. Thank you, Prof. Hayatul. Thank you, Prof. Ari.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dion, for the question. Thank you, Dr. Hayato. Thank you, Mr. Pak Ari. I believe it's been 3 long hours, but it's been interesting discussion between Malaysia and Indonesia. Let's move on. Pak Bambang.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you to Professor Dr. Hayatul Safrah binti Saleh, and also Mr. Ari Wibowo Irawan, and also Pak Wakil Dekan bidang akademik dan kemahasiswaan Tempat, Pak
Dr. Haidir, Vice Dean,
Mr. Ketut here, Ibu Yuari Farah, of course, the ones of Wonder Woman between Indonesia and Malaysia, and also Pak Doni, and the last also. I would like to say thank you and best regards to Pak Dekan, Pak Hendro Sasongko, Pak Dr. Hendro. Yeah, and all of this audience.
Okay, they're also from Stiamia, Bambang, and there's still a lot of from IBIC also, yeah. Thank you for the participant in this second webinar series. There are also the slide will give in the chat room, so everyone who want to slide can download it in the chat room, or also can contact Pak Bambang or me if there is trouble in downloading the presentation that from Dr. Hayato or from Pak Ari. I believe there is still a lot of things that we can discuss, but time limit us to the end of the session. Okay.
Pak Doni, can I have the last word, Pak Doni, maybe?
Yes.
Dr.
There
Hayato?
is some close statement from Pak Ari and Dr. Hayato before we close the session. Please, Pak Ari.
Okay, thank you, Pak Doni. Actually, this is not like the last message or something, but for me, because we are from Indonesia and then we are from Malaysia, I see the business opportunity here. Why don't you guys from Malaysia and Indonesia try to have a trading, right? I mean, you are from Malaysia, can take a look what is interesting, or there is opportunity in Malaysia. You can take a look all the stuff in Indonesia. So maybe Pakuan or IBIC student can supply the product that actually needed from Malaysia. That's or vice versa. Yeah? Maybe there is something booming in Malaysia, and then we can do the trading here to Indonesia. That's the first one. And then the second thing is, if we go to the Shopee, right? There is a Shopee Malaysia. Shopee, I forgot the domain, but there is a Shopee Malaysia, and then there is a Shopee of Indonesia. I just noticed that actually Shopee Indonesia and Shopee Malaysia is not connected, Pak Doni. This is different domain.
No.
I think I just noticed about the game. Yeah, I think because Shopee is actually regional player, and then controlled maybe by China, right? So they don't want Indonesian seller to having trading with the Malaysian buyer. I see the different part. So so the challenge is maybe I need someone from this forum. Maybe you can test. Maybe you can access the Shopee in Malaysia. You can test Shopee in Indonesia. Indonesia, you can test or register in Shopee Malaysia. If you can do that, you will get the blue ocean market. You know what? Because in Indonesia, you can find anything, but all the seller is from Indonesia. So everything become mature already. But if you try to selling in Shopee Malaysia, if that's possible, that's going to be promising. Because I try to check, I think the admin is trying to block this kind of synergize, because all the import should only come from China instead of another country. They try to control it. But I don't know, this is not my last word or something. This is only the statement. This is only the challenging. Yeah, some challenge that maybe you can do that, or you can try it at home after this one. Thank you, Dr. Hayatul. Thank you, Mr. Bambang. Thank you, Pak Doni. Also, Bu Yuari, the Wonder Woman, Pak Haidir here. I have many friends here actually. Bu Sarah, Pak Saiful, Pak Andreas, many more. Yeah, maybe I cannot mention one by one. And of course, my beloved student. Thank you very much once again. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ari, there's a challenging statement to all of the participants here, especially in Malaysia and Indonesia. Next, moving to Dr. Hayatul, maybe a close statement.
Ya, terima kasih ya Pak Doni. Terima kasih again ya. I would like to pass my gratitude and thanks ya to Pak Dodi ya, juga Pak Bambang ya. And also to Ari, Pak Ari. Nice meeting you all. And the other person that I would like to thank is Dr. Yuari Faradira. Dr. Farah has, have helped a lot to our faculty and our jabatan, departments of marketing. And just like what Pak Ari said, not only this guest lecture series, but inshallah, and maybe I think Dr. Farah can say a little bit of what our jabatan is planning to do, colloquium and a lot of things, or maybe Pak Doni can give maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, to Dr. Farah to talk about a few things that networking that we can do between UMT and also University in University of Pakuan. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm hoping to see you guys again. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hayatul, Associate Professor, to follow up your statement. There is Vice Dean in here, Dr. Haidir, maybe can respond to statement from Dr. Hayatul, or also maybe Dr. Farah can show up, because there are many people asking for Dr. Yuari Farah, the Wonder Woman. Please, Dr. Haidir first. Or maybe Dr. Yuari first. Dr. Farah?
Ya, baik. Terima kasih. Many thanks.
This is
Pak Haidir, before your closing and statement sebelum kata penutup Pak Haidir, which is very thank you for your support Pak Haidir, our Vice Dean academic and student stay long the time of this session is a very great support. Terima kasih Pak Haidir, nanti minta sambutan penutupnya Pak ya. Kalau nggak seru ya. If the father of the academic not giving a closing statement ya Pak. Nah, it's not the scenario, but that's okay. So actually ini di luar skenario. So again, many thanks ya, not only to Pak Haidir, but also for all the colleagues, all the lecturers in Faculty Economy and Business, and also from the Faculty Business, Economics and Social Development, University Malaysia Terengganu, and also the very great speaker, my colleague, Associate Professor Dr. Hayatul. Many thanks for your support. My colleagues also in Faculty Economy and Business, Bapak Ari Wibowo Irawan, and also my colleague, my best partner at University Tun Hussein on Malaysia, Bapak Bambang Hengki Rainanto. I wish you will get partner in class.
In crime.
Yeah. Soon you will have your viva. Dr. Hayatul. Nah, Bapak Bambang is just waiting for viva from UTHM, University Tun Hussein on, and also in the about the green marketing. I promote you, Pak Bambang, and also my very best colleague, Bapak Doni. Without you, I might not have any attendance of the students because you are the assistant of management program in Faculty Economy and Business. If you allow me to do this, all students will not come here. And also many thanks maybe on behalf of the Institute Stiami. Actually, before I saw Ibu Resista, also PhD candidate, who also support this program and also give attendance from her student within this session. So again, we thought all the support is not happen, and looking forward for the full collaboration. There are more series. Inshallah, next week is about finance, and one participant as the lecturer is coming from, inshallah, our dean in Faculty Economy and Business, from Bapak Hendro, and also maybe the head of program of accounting, Dr. Hayatul, Dr. Azwadi, but I'm still waiting for the confirmation about the schedule. And maybe along the session also, we will have, for example, opportunity to get session from our dean in Faculty Business, Economic, Social Development, Professor Saladin, and also partner with the lecturer from Pakuan, and also maybe with the support all the co-partner from IBIC, Pak Bambang, and all the colleague, and also other. I think that's all. Again, thank you. More collaboration activity will be informed, and looking forward for all the support. And again, thank you. Terima kasih Pak Haidir. Sekarang giliran Pak Haidir menutup.
Wow.
Thank you. Wassalamualaikum.
Aduh. Jadi saya closing terakhir ya. Baik.
Iya Pak, ditutup.
Waduh. Baik, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Apa kabar Ibu Hayatul? Apa kabar Pak Bambang Hengki, Pak Doni, Pak Ari? Ya, ini campur aja nih pakai bahasa Inggris. Saya juga pun terima kasih ya kepada IBIK juga, kepada Ibu Hayatul, dan terselenggaranya webinar hari ini yang cukup antusias sekali dan cukup banyak sambutannya pada yang partisipan ini. Sekali lagi saya ucapkan very thank you very much this webinar this here. Oke, itu aja dari saya. Billahi taufik walhidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Mangga Pak Doni.
Ya, terima kasih. Thank you, Dr. Haidir, Vice Dean of the Faculty Economic and Business, University Pakuan. Ladies and gentlemen, finally we get to the last session in this event, that closing. Let us close this event by saying Hamdalah.
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim.
We, me, and Mr. Bambang, Pak Bambang, if in guiding this event we make mistake or offend someone here, we would like to ask for forgiveness, because like Pak Ari said, that English is not our mother language. From the bottom of our heart, we ask sorry, and may we see again in the next session and the next events. We hopefully the relationship between Indonesia and Malaysia, from Pakuan, IBIK, Setiami, and UTM will collab to make some achievement and some benefit, especially during the COVID pandemic. I also hopefully Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala always protect us in Indonesia and in Malaysia, especially during the pandemic. Mr. Bambang, for closing statement.
Okay, I think all people already mentioned here, already made statement, so no need for me to statement again anymore. Yeah, thank you very much for all of you. So that's it.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. There is a certificate, but maybe I can deliver by email or can download in Google Drive, but there is still a signature pending, so maybe in one or next we will be informed about the certification. Thank you for the participation, thank you for the participation of all the participants. Hope the best, and in Indonesia I always close with salam sehat selalu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you Dr. Hato, thank you Pak Bambang.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Terima kasih.
Thank you Dr. Hayatul.
Ya, terima kasih
Bambang.
semua.
Terima kasih Bu Dr. Hayatul, Bambang Hengki.
Sampai jumpa lagi ya.
Pak Doni.
Sampai jumpa
Pak
Hidir.
Ya, sama-sama ya Pak Ari. Bu Farah. Sehat selalu Bu.
Hadir, ya.
Ya, izin ya Pak. Masih.
Mohon izin live.
Iya, terima kasih buat para mahasiswa, Bapak Ibu dosen, ya. Makasih Pak Doni, Pak Bambang, Dr. Hayatul.
Iya, makasih Ibu, makasih Bapak Ibu dosen yang telah hadir.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Yang kami nantikan yang dari Malaysia ke Indonesia ini, Dr. Hayatul, kalau sudah tidak pandemik.
Ya, kalau nggak COVID nanti Dr. Hayatul MC juga nanti.
Iya.
Kami dulu ya, Bapak Ibu.
Ya, Pak. Ada komisi ya? Oke, assalamualaikum.
Universitas Pakuan was established on November 1st, 1980 as a continuation of Universitas Bogor or UNBO that have been run for almost 2 decades in 1980. On November 1st, 1988, Universitas Bogor or UNBO officially changed its name to be Universitas Pakuan under Pakuan Siliwangi Foundation or Yayasan Pakuan Siliwangi.
Vision: to be an excellent, independent, and characterized university. Mission: organizing a higher education in preparing human resources who are able to explore, develop, and apply sciences, technologies, and arts. Applying knowledge which is based on a wise attitude. Producing graduates who are qualified, independent, faithful, having noble character, and be patriotic.
Salam Currently, Universitas Pakuan has 3 education programs with 6 faculties of undergraduate program, 1 graduate school for master and doctoral program, and 1 vocational school. The following are the faculties and study programs in Universitas Pakuan. Graduate schools, master programs, doctoral program, undergraduate programs, Faculty of Law, Faculty of Economic and Business, Faculty of Teachers Training and Educational Sciences, Faculty of Social and Cultural Science, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, Vocational Schools, Sporting Unit, Facilities, Academic activities, Collaboration,
Universitas Pakuan is the largest private university in Bogor. It is located in the central of the town that is easy to be reached. It is accredited B by National Accreditation Board. Having good and complete facilities make the students feel comfortable in learning in Universitas Pakuan. We are very open to collaborate with local and overseas universities, industries, and NGO.
Marilah bergabung